Okay, 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 okay. Okay, okay, okay. Hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready. I started messing with other stuff. Hold on. Hold on. Let me close Photoshop. Oh, my phone ringing. Hold on. Nope, that's my sister. Nope, I don't want to talk. I'm busy. Okay. Everything happens at once. Okay. Hi. How you doing? How you be? Talk to the AB. I am so sorry. Too much going on in one day. I was like getting ready and we haven't used the lab in like forever. So I was sitting here trying to make sure that it was all right and good and everything was right in the world. Okay, make sure that that's good. And let's make this bigger so I can see people chat. And yeah, okay, cool. Alrighty. Hi, how you doing? How you be? Talk to the AB. And this channel is about troubleshooting technical issues, gaming issues, computer issues, PC issues, Mac issues, Linux, whatever. And yeah, hi, my name is Anthony. I am your host. Hope everybody had a good day at work. Hope everybody had a good day at school or whatever you're doing in your day-to-day life. Hope everybody had a good day playing video games. So we have a pretty good show lined up today. We have a lot going on here. And of course, all my stuff is in the wrong screen because that's just what today has been. Also, I got my monitor in that's going to be used as my front panel I want to talk about a little bit. But first, without further ado, let's take a look at a few things. So I saw this earlier and I was kind of curious about it. I was like, what is this? And let me put on my earbuds real quick here so I can actually hear this as well. There we go. Alrighty, let's see what this is here. So let's switch it off. And it says, just two buddies playing kart. Okay, yeah, that's exactly what happens. But I don't know if I'm smiling when that happens because I don't feel happy at all when I get hit with a blue turtle shell. I'm kind of annoyed. And the person who usually hits you with a blue turtle shell is definitely not the person in second place. It's like the dude in sixth place, and then he ends up in third because he got a blue turtle shell. So yeah, no. That is not how I feel whenever I get hit with a turtle shell. But okay, sure. We won't be buddies at that point. Okay, and this one here is the front. I don't think I've actually seen this one before, but it just came out, so it's an official reveal trailer, and I am down to find out. Michael Bay movie. That's how electricity works. Okay, so what kind of game is it? Okay. Do you know how Minecraft is a game? Do you also know how Call of Duty is a game? What about Battlefield or Resident Evil? Those are also games. Yes, the front is a game. We took all that. We took all that. You know how Minecraft, right? And we took that, and then you know how Call of Duty, right? And then we took some of that. We just put it together and we called it the front. I mean, it looks like a survival game. I don't know. I don't know. The graphics were a little but I mean, hey, we're more genre types than frames per second. Exactly. Oh wow. Okay. Somebody apparently agrees with me. That I don't know, man. It looked like everything. It looks like every single game. If that cat leveled up, I would be done with the game. Like, it has RPG elements, it has action elements, it's Minecraft, it's Call of Duty, it has Battlefield. You dig in trenches, and you have like bazookas and oh my goodness, anti-army warfare. Apparently, he shot his partner in the back and nothing happened. I just okay, all right. You are definitely a game, that is for sure. But I mean, maybe it comes out better, but you know, whatever. Our job isn't to critique, our job is to support. So we'll be there in the event somebody has a broken computer due to a game that is very ambitious. We'll go with that. Alrighty, this one is Remnant 2. It came out some time ago, but I've never actually saw it, the actual trailer, so I was kind of curious. No. I'm a setting sun, but I'll never run. I'm a dead man walking. I'll stay and fight as long as I'm alive. I'm a dead man walking. Okay, take my wallet. Good Lord, have mercy. Now that's a game. I don't know what that other one was, but that most definitely is a game. That looked sick, man. That looks extremely, extremely sick. Like, there were people with braids, and I don't even know what happened. And there was like a goddess, and there were monsters, and the dude had fire powers. It was like, it looked like a hard game. It looked like a very intriguing game. I've never seen that. That looked so awesome. I'm ready for it. When does this come out? You need to be more specific. Okay, so it just says 2023. Let's see. How are you just gonna give us a link to Steam? Is it okay, fine. Remnant 2. Oh, it just is coming soon. I mean, it looks great. It looks absolutely great. All right. I am ready for that one. Okay, well, that looks like one of the coolest games that I've seen so far. Well, okay, there's been others that are pretty good, but that one looked excellent. So congrats to them. Okay, so it's going to start helping people here in a little bit. There is something I do want to take a look at, which is a monitor I just got in. Well, I guess it's a kind of like a monitor screen. So let me switch over here and let's see if it works properly. There we go. That worked out pretty well. Oh, no, that didn't work out. Okay, there we go. Alrighty, let me turn this around so everybody can see. And let me turn this over here so I can see what's going on here. Slide, slide, slippity slide. There we go. Oh, wow, that looks amazing. Gotta love it. Okay. Make sure my audio is good. Oh, my audio. No, my audio's fine. It's a little low. Let me turn it up a little bit there. Alrighty. Yeah, that's good. Okay. So this right here is called Neophyte. Okay. I didn't know that it was a gray box. Okay. So bear with me there. I apologize for the gray on gray there, but let me zoom in just a little bit there. There we go. And a little bit more. There we go. All right. Let's take a look at this here. So it says, it has lifetime customer support. It's a 14-inch 1080p monitor, which is the reason why I got it. Apparently it can fit inside of a Lee & O11D Mini, and I wanted to use it as a front screen here. And it's just your typical run-of-the-mill kind of 1080p monitor that you can get, but its form factor is really nice. So as far as accessories go, you get a USB-C cable, a USB-A to USB-C, as well as an HDMI to, it looks like micro HDMI. Mini HDMI, micro HDMI is one of the, it's not the smallest one, but it's the second to smallest. And then you have an adapter link. Okay. Well, let's take a look at this guy real quick here before we actually get started with helping people, because I wanted to see what was in here. So, wow, I'm really bad at opening this. There we go. Okay, this is why you keep knives next to your... Okay, well, actually, it comes in a case. So, I mean, obviously, we won't need that here, but... Oh, wow, that actually is really clean. So, if we look here, it has your USB-C, 2 USB-C ports, as well as the mini HDMI or micro HDMI, whichever one, as well as your power buttons, as well as your volume up and volume down. So, essentially, the way it works is you're supposed to... For this particular one here, it will fit directly into this screen here, and it's supposed to fit flush. So basically you put this like this into the monitor, and then you put whatever video you want on it, and then you can basically display it with the computer, or you can use it as a standalone monitor. So basically you will turn your computer into a monitor all on its own. So I'm kind of excited. I wanted to see exactly what it can do and see how light it is and how it will fit. This looks like a perfect fit because I just lined it up with the with my computer case. So we'll get to see what that's going to turn into. Yeah, I can probably see that. Let me see. Yeah, see how pretty it is now? It's turning into an adult. So basically, it just kind of lines up like that. So you won't be able to see it from that angle, but essentially, it'll be on the front of the case. So it'll be kind of just like that, and you should be able to see that there. But without further ado here, let's go ahead and get started with helping people here. I just wanted to see what was in the box and what all came with it. And it looks like a pretty nice deal. This was only like 80 bucks. So don't go cray-cray. This was like $80. It was very, very affordable for what it is. But it looks like it's going to be a perfect fit for the O11D. Alrighty, moving back here. Okay. Yep, that looks good. Let me slide this back over. Yeah, so for the price point, it wasn't expensive. I didn't have to pay a whole lot of money, and plus there was like a discount. So that makes it a lot easier because I didn't have to pay a whole lot. So I was like, you know, for what it is and what it gives me, having the ability to use it. Now, the thing about it is with these kind of monitors that you're trying to put into your actual case, there's no real point in making it like 120 FPS or 144 FPS or 240 FPS. Like there's no point, right? Because it's just showing a video. And if it shows it at 60 FPS, that's probably more than enough. Or if you want to use it as a monitor, 1080p is more than enough because it's in portrait mode. So you're not trying to, you know, have the best balling gaming setup from a monitor that's within your case. You're just trying to set it up so that it basically mirrors it. So yeah, we'll see how that goes here. I'll probably try to do it over the weekend and see what it turns into. But without further ado, let's help some people. Alrighty, let me get some water here and we can get started. Alrighty. All right, so this is interesting. Okay, so this is scan lines on Gigabyte G27F2. I remember this. It was basically, there's pictures. Let me just go with the pictures. So that's what he was showing us. And that third one, what did he do to get the third one to show that way? They return when the installation is finished. When I click on the button on the monitor to see the settings, the scan lines are there, but they are not when the PC is off. The GPU is an ASRock Challenger Pro and a C750 XT. Okay, so it can be a couple of different things. What happens if you take it down to 144 hertz or 120? Does the tiling go away then? It seems like the monitor is having issues overclocking the higher frame rate. You could also try to upgrade the Radeon graphics to the most up-to-date version to see if it makes a difference. Do you have another device that can plug into this monitor like a PS4, 5, or Xbox or Steam Deck? At 120 and 144 is still there and only gets better at 60 hertz, but I will try another device right now. And by upgrading Radeon graphics, you mean driver or something else? Oh, I mean driver. Oh, I definitely mean driver. I thought he said he had 2 monitors. All started when on boot, my left display would start showing scan lines for a bit and they will go away. Over time, they stayed longer and longer before going away until eventually they're here forever. My right display has not experienced any issues. The top of the left display doesn't have them, but the lines get more intense the more you go down the screen. It's a 1920 by 1080, 165 hertz. Okay. Oh, I definitely mean driver. Also, the cable in your 2 monitors could you swap them? Could you swap them between the monitors and see if the issue continues? Okay. Oh, I definitely mean driver. Also, the cable in your 2 monitors, the HDMI/display cable, so he knows what I'm talking about. Display cable in your 2 monitors. Could you swap them between each other? Swap them between each other. There we go. Each other, and see if the issue continues. So basically, we're trying to eliminate anything outside of just the monitor. So if he swaps it out and the issue is still there, then it's a pretty good chance we're just dealing with a monitor issue. But if he swaps it out and the well, it could also be a graphics issue. But if he swaps it out and the issue goes away when he swaps it out, then he may just have a bad cable. So we're just trying to make sure that that's what's going on here. And it only gets better at 60 hertz. Well, he could also try to overclock his other monitor to see if it makes a difference, but I'm not going to do that because I don't want him to risk his monitor over a test. So we'll just leave it at that. Oh, I definitely mean driver. Also, the HDMI/display cable in your 2 monitors, could you swap them between each other and see if the issue continues? Yeah, we'll just go with that. What happened? Let us know what happens when you plug in another device. Let us know what happens when you plug in another device. Okay, so just a couple things that we just want to ask. It seems that he didn't really answer all of the questions that we had, maybe like the first one. So we'll just go ahead and just only ask him 2 questions and see what happens with it. Hopefully he can reply back and let us know. So keep us posted, Oreos. We kind of want to know. Alrighty. What's going on with my headset? Okay, we'll just take them out because I don't hear anything. I don't hear background music. I don't hear noise. I don't hear ambiance, and it's kind of annoying me. So we're just gonna take it out. Alrighty. What is this? Oh, here we go. Clicked off. When I use my controller, nothing happens on the Xbox dashboard. Okay. Well, this is the first time we had this issue. If we look at the Xbox, when I use my controller, nothing happens on the Xbox dashboard. Well, your Xbox controller can also turn on the Xbox. Does it do that? Oh, we should probably ask him that. Does your Xbox controller turn on the Xbox? Also, oh, I'm sorry, I can't type when a giant hand is in my way. Also, what happens when you plug your controller indirectly? Does it make a difference? And yes, I cannot spell or type apparently. All right, let me see about the Xbox. Oops, sorry, I think I pressed caps. There we go. Xbox. Okay. So yeah, with the Xbox there, it should actually power it on just by having the controller on. So there's not a whole lot that we need to test here. It should work just naturally. But if he's having problems with that controller, the controller may just having problems communicating, which means that he may also want to try to pair it with his phone and see if it makes a difference. But we'll get to that when we get to it. So we've already asked him 3 questions. I'll kind of just leave it at that and see exactly what he says in the future. So get back with us tomorrow. Joe Mama. Okay. This is from Gingerbread Stud. Didn't feel like spending the extra money for a white 4070 Ti, so I painted the Asus Tough. Asus Tough is a traditionally black card up here. That's cute. I like this. I like this bracket. If mine is very so the Gigabyte bracket that comes with it is meant to fit the Gigabyte Aorus. I didn't know that at the time when I bought it. I bought the Aorus because it had extra slots, but the actual board itself is meant to fit the SAG card. So, but I like how his is actually all white. That's actually really sweet. And I like how it says up here, like it's taunting you. So congrats. I mean, I like this all white build. It's really, really nice. And it's like blue. It's like a nightlight. It's like that other guy's where his was orange. Congrats on the new nightlight. Yeah, we'll go with that. Congrats on the new nightlight. Because that is really nice. I mean, it's a nice build. I mean, it's all white, but I've seen a couple of white builds nowadays, and I'm kind of getting over them because white, the thing about like white builds, like all white builds, is that you get tired of it real quick. And the problem with white builds is that once it's white, you can't change it to another color. If it's black, you can go black and purple. If you can go black and blue, you can go black and red, you can go black and green, you can go black and yellow or black and pink, and no one would bat an eye. But when it's white, your choices are white and white blue. That's it. You don't have a whole lot of options. So you kind of put yourself in kind of a hole there. Because I mean, look, I mean, he has an NZXT H510 white. He has a a cooler or a AIO that's white. His fans are white. Now they have a blue hue to them, but that's pretty much it. You don't have a whole lot of options here. If you made it red, it'll overtake the white. If you make it blue, it'll overtake the white. So any other character that's or any other color that's on the radio wheel, like I don't know for sure if it would even help in this kind of a situation. You know, that white, it's a very that means that you are committed to this build. There's no backing out. But congrats to him. I mean, hey, it came out really well. Alrighty, this is from Galvin. Galvin T? We'll just say Galvin. Galvin writes, no charger after hibernation. I'm using the Steam Deck charger, shouldn't be a problem, and my Geek stops charging after walking from hibernation or sleep. Joysticks glow cyan. Cyan. So this is actually talking about the Aya Neo Geek. So I was adding other operating systems and other consoles. So like for example, the Steam Deck as well as the Aya Neo and the OnePlus player. So those are kind of Game Gear-like consoles, and I currently don't have one on me, even though I thought I would. I forgot it. I sit in the other room. But essentially, those are basically just kind of like handheld, portable gaming devices. And I'm using the Steam Deck charger. Okay, what happens? What happens if you use the charger that comes with the Aya Neo? Does it have an issue with that? I believe it does come with a charger. Does it still have an issue with hibernation? Typically, whenever you see hibernation happening, when you're using a adapter that is not compatible, not necessarily compatible, but it isn't the adapter that came with the particular product, it goes into hibernation because it uses more power than the actual adapter is willing to give it on any consistent basis. So overall, it would actually start to degrade the power supply or the amount of power the device has because it's wanting more power than the adapter can put out. So that's typically whenever you see those kind of hibernation modes happening. Like for example, okay, well the Mac is a bad example because the Mac is really good with its power, especially whenever you plug it in. You can plug it into anything. But let's take the ThinkPad X1 tablet as an example. That guy doesn't like to plug into anyone unless it is its own adapter. So, you know, those kind of situations there, and it's not even able to trickle charge, you know, some can, some can't, it really just depends. But in this case here, I would say that more than likely the adapter is not necessarily compatible with the Aya Neo. Okay, what happens if you use the charger that comes with the Aya Neo? Does it still have an issue with hibernation? Yeah, we'll go with that. It's also a Windows operating system, so you troubleshoot it just like any other Windows operating system. Alrighty, let's go ahead and go to the next one. This is from Gogeta, stars in. Okay, Gogeta writes, Dell laptop powers on and turns back off. Okay, a few months ago, my Dell laptop started blinking amber lights and won't power on. I researched and found out it was my battery that completely died. Why wouldn't it turn on if it was just your battery? I replaced the battery and got a new charger, but now when I turn it on, it turns a white LED on and it won't even enter the boot screen. Yeah. If your power supply or if your battery was the problem, then if you had it plugged into the wall, even if the battery was dead, the laptop would still come on provided it was the adapter that came with it. So, which means that your issue is going to be different. I replaced the battery and got a new charger, but now when I turn it on, it turns a white LED screen on and it won't even show the boot screen. Okay. Do you have an external monitor per chance? Sounds like the screen may have died. Hey, Casey, my man, I'll take a look at that in 1 second here. Sounds like the screen may have died. Do you have any other devices you can plug into the PC? Yeah, laptop. Laptop. We switched so much. One person has a laptop, next person has a computer. Alrighty, Casey, my man. Idea why my Xbox Elite controller won't be recognized by my PC. So if you are one, the quickest reason that can happen with the Xbox Elite controller, which is right here, right in my face. The first thing that I would think of, one, do I have problems with my Xbox Elite controller in my PC? Yes. That is 100% true. How I get it to work via Bluetooth is one, it's probably already there. So what you want to do is go into your Bluetooth settings and delete the Xbox Elite controller from there. It may delete, it may not delete. Regardless if it does or it doesn't, go ahead and hold down the search in order to basically make it search for a Bluetooth signal, and then go ahead and add it back, okay? Even if it doesn't delete from the screen, you can still add it back. And I can actually show it to you here. Let's switch to an operating system. So if we go to Bluetooth over here, I think this one has an Xbox controller. Right. So here, what I'm saying is you want to just click on here and hit remove device. Sometimes it removes, sometimes it doesn't. You see how it doesn't remove, even though it says removing device? That's fine. Okay. Even if it hasn't actually disappeared, that's fine. Still go to add device and you will see the device there and you can pair it. So even though it's not displaying it, you'll still see the device. So then you just go ahead and click on it and pair it. And then once you pair it, it'll show this device again and it'll show it as connected. So sometimes the Xbox Elite controllers has problems pairing with Windows. So I would try this first. And if it doesn't work, you may have to go wired. But that's typically what I've run into every time. And it's not just an Elite thing. This is the Elite and the Elite 2. They both do the exact same thing. They have the worst time with Bluetooth on Windows PCs. And I've tested this across maybe 5 different computers. They all suck. Okay. So it's not just you. It may be that you have an issue with your controller. That's true. But I've had this issue with my Elites as well. And I have 2 of them. I have the regular one, the original, and I also have the Elite 2. They both give me the same problems. Okay. So I've run into this every single time, and I usually have to disconnect the controller and then reconnect it. So just right clicking on it, disconnecting and repairing it in order to get it to work. So I would try that first and let us know if that works. If not, you may have to go wired. Okay. Let's go ahead and go back to our homie here. Did we answer this question? I feel like we did. Yeah, we did. Okay, cool. So we finished group 1. Yay, group 1. All righty, group 2. All right, this is from... Ooh, caught myself. Ooh, I caught myself. Yo, you can't be like, come on now, man. People got shows to run. Why are you gonna make your name like that? You know how hard it is for me to not say somebody's name when I'm reading? Like, that's like somebody writing something in a script. You're gonna say it because you're just reading. So yeah, please don't ever do that to people. Cause man, that's like an immediate demonetization. Okay, Mr. Dryer. Mr. Dryer writes, anyone know why sometimes my computer will become incredibly slow? For seemingly no reason and have to be shut down by holding down the power button. Okay. I press shut down on restart on the desktop and it will endlessly say it is shutting down or restarting, but won't actually. Yeah, you have too many processes running in the background. Yeah, more than likely, you have too many processes running in the background. So it has to shut them all down before it can actually power off. Does he want it fixed? Okay, anyone know why sometimes my computer will become incredibly slow for seemingly no reason and have to be shut down by holding down the power button? Okay, we'll go with this. Are you running a SSD or NVMe drive? Or is your operating system on a hard drive? Every time that we go a step above and start troubleshooting, like true troubleshooting, we miss these little ones, right? So they'll be like, oh man, I fixed it. I rebooted my computer and it started working. Oh man, I fixed it. We put batteries in the remote and now everything is working. Oh man, we fixed it. It was just a hard drive issue. I just replaced it with an SSD. So because of that and us getting blown up by easy issues, I'm gonna start with the easy stuff first this time, and then we'll just grow from there. If we, depending on how he answers, we'll just grow from it. But I don't want to do that anymore. I don't want to be like, okay, well, you do this, and this. Oh, I'm sorry. I just rebooted my computer and it started working. Thanks anyway. He just wrote a whole paragraph. So we'll just go with that and see what he says and then kind of go from there. Okay, Argus Pen. No, I'm not gonna say that. I'm not even sure if that may be a cuss word in another language. Okay, we'll go with Argus. Argus writes, swapping a keyboard for a backlit one. I recently only got an HP ProBook 440 G9, but without the backlit keyboard, and wondered if it's possible to buy an official HP backlit keyboard and install it. Install it? You mean like as a second keyboard? Or are you talking about on top of your keyboard? That's a big difference. Doing some quick research on eBay, I could only see the backlit one, so I could not compare the connectors, but the keyboard looked the same. You said ProBook. Okay. Not really. Not really. Most people don't really try to replace the keyboard itself for one with a backlight. It may violate the warranty and you just got it, so I wouldn't recommend it. I don't okay, I get that it's your computer and all that kind of stuff, man, but sometimes you got to protect people from themselves, right? We are engineers, we are supporters, we're here to help people, but you have to protect them from themselves at some point. It's like, okay, you just bought this computer, okay? It's probably outside of its, 2-week warranty or 1-month warranty, and you're trying to replace the backlights on the keyboard because it's annoying you. It's like, come on, you may go into it and you may mess up something else and it may violate the warranty because you went inside the computer, because it's very hard to not, like, if there's a sticker or if there's a sticker covering the key, they can tell that you've made changes and they may void your warranty. There's so many different ways they can go about that. So it's not ideal to do that just for backlights on a keyboard. You know what I'm saying? I would rather you just buy an external keyboard and use the backlights on that guy. Like, it's not worth it. You know what I mean? So, regardless of how badly you want it, we're talking about backlights on a keyboard. I'm not exactly sure if that's going to be something that is worth you risking that. It may be a little iffy, man. I would check the warranty before you do that, because we have to give you the best answer, and that's the best answer. Don't do it. But if you are going to do it, okay, but I wouldn't do it. It's just most people don't do that. They don't really go for that. If it doesn't have a backlight, it doesn't have a backlight, and then call it a day. Don't really try to replace the keyboard itself for one with a backlight. It may violate the warranty, so I wouldn't recommend it. Do you mean you could also just get an external keyboard with the backlight you want and have it travel with you. That's what I would do. I would just get a keyboard that has whatever backlight I want and have it travel with me. It's not hard putting a keyboard in a backpack, especially if it's smaller form factor, like keyless. Those guys without the numpad, those are actually pretty small. Case in point, the Logitech, this one right here. So this one right here is super small. It has no numpad on it. So because of that, it's very, very small and very, very portable, and you can take it anywhere with you. On top of that, you can switch between Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. So if you have two computers, you can have one on Wi-Fi and then switch it, and now you have one on Bluetooth. And then switch it back, you have one on Wi-Fi. So it's probably one of the better ones. Its battery is also dying. So so hold on, let me plug it into the power. We can't have what happened yesterday happen today. Do this real quick here. There we go. So yeah, that's what I would say for it. I would just get a portable keyboard if you really want backlights. It's not worth going into the computer for it. Okay. That was, oh yeah, that was the person. Oh no, Argus. Okay, I was like, okay, that's the person whose name I can't pronounce. No, that was just Argus. All right, let's go and go to the next one here. So this is from, okay, what is up with these white cases? Why does every case got to be all white? Okay, this is from Baganono 8964. Mr. Bag says Panda color build i9 13900K with an RTX 4090. Wow, what a build. Okay, well, congrats, bro. That's pretty sweet. RTX 4090. That's a 40. Okay, he liquid cooled it apparently, because that doesn't look like the Supreme. It just looks like, okay, maybe. Oh yeah, because that's a Gigabyte logo. So okay, that's interesting. I like the cables; they're nice, and I like the. I guess it's an aftermarket GPU. What aftermarket AIO cooler is that on the 4090? It doesn't look like the Supreme. So on mine, like I always wanted to go with a liquid cooled system, like for example that Gigabyte right there. That Gigabyte is very, very big, and I wanted to replace it with liquid cooling and basically put it either at the bottom or on this back panel here, and basically have two liquid cooled systems that are inside of the case. So one for the CPU and one for the GPU, and kind of call it a day. So I always wanted to do that, but I'm not sure if there is an AIO cooler for the Gigabyte version of the RTX 4090. So I was wondering if he could help a brother out, give me a link or something, because I couldn't find one, but I haven't checked in a while now, so it may be out by now. But aftermarket cooler is that on the 4090? It doesn't look like the Supreme. Okay, so yeah, but overall, I mean, it's a nice build. I mean, I don't know, I'm kind of over all these all white builds, but I mean, hey, he has a Lian Li case. I gotta respect it. He has basically the bigger brother of the one that I'm currently using. I think everybody has this Lian Li case. I'm starting to feel like I picked a case that everyone has. Alrighty, so this is from the Canadian girl. Okay, cool. So give me 1 second here. Okay. That Canadian girl writes, Xbox Series X console won't connect with my Xbox app anymore. So I said, yeah, update, so uninstall the app from your phone and reinstall the app so it has the latest version, and reset your Xbox back up to see if it makes a difference. Also, make sure there are no updates for your Xbox. Thanks. Weirdly enough, I needed to restart my phone and it was automatically on there after the phone restart. Okay. Update. Okay. Gotcha. Sounds like there may have been an update and a reboot was needed. Glad you got it worked out. We will take our assist trophy and we will gladly bow out. I appreciate it. Glad you got it worked out. Alrighty. See, those kind of things right there, like, I feel like I missed some of these, like, especially like the easier ones, like, because I don't want to insult people, because it'd be like, okay, hey, you know, I'm having some issues with my computer. Did you try rebooting it? Like anyone can say that, right? So I always skip and just kind of go with other options outside of just rebooting your computer, because anybody can say that, you know. Did you try, you know, I don't know, putting batteries in the remote? You know, those are the kind of answers and troubleshooting that you typically don't do, because it doesn't benefit you. You're just trying to help somebody, or you're trying to help somebody the best way possible. But the best way possible isn't coming up with the most obvious answer, because there are 30 other people who can come up with that exact same answer. It's you thinking about the actual situation, what can and what cannot work in order to come to a reasonable conclusion. So yeah, sometimes I do, sometimes I won't. I think I may just kind of add something similar and then explain what I really want to explain and kind of just take it from there. But at least I'm happy that Canadian girl got it resolved. Alrighty, here. Caden. Caden says completely stumped. Intermittent, no boot, but only kinda. Okay, well that kinda is the definition of intermittent. So you're right on point. Alrighty. All right. I got to get a swig because he said this is going to be long. All right. I'm ready. I'm ready. This is going to be long, so here we go. Any help would be appreciated. Recently built a PC from mostly given parts. Recently built a PC from mostly giving away parts from various friends. It's a first gen Ryzen 3 system with a 1080 Ti and a 650 watt power supply. Problem is as follows: the computer doesn't boot after being turned on, but in a weird way. It'll be turned on and the devices get initialized and no display, and a CPU error light on the board will illuminate for about 10 seconds. However, if I continue to power cycle it over and over again, after 10 minutes, it will start up, put on keyboard lights, and display the monitor for a second. And then if you continue to try, it will post, but then crash right as Windows starts to load. Continuing this process will eventually load Windows and crash at login. And then finally, the computer will eventually get to desktop and function perfectly from there, even in heavy gaming. When the computer crashes, all device lights goes out, the monitor goes blank, but the system stays running. Just the CPU error light comes on. To remedy this, my troubleshooting has been the following: tried different graphics cards, okay. Tried different PCIe slots, okay. Reseated the CPU, unplugged and replugged every power cable to the board and GPU, taken out the CMOS battery, changed RAM configurations around, tried booting to a different Windows install. So the takeaway seems to be the computer has to be power cycle repeatedly to get further and further into the boot process, and it seems to be hardware based, and letting the computer sit in a zombie state will not warm it up to then boot better. After the computer has gotten to desktop, it'll run fine and even reboot with no problem, but it's powered off for long enough that this whole thing has to be repeated the next day. I already know the answer, I'm just reading. I do not think it's PSU related, as once I'm in, I can stress that the CPU and GPU and the system remain stable. I've never seen something act like this before. Thanks for any help. Sure. Well, for starters, what we would say would be to update the BIOS on the motherboard. Update the BIOS on the motherboard. So he's tried different PCIe slots. He tries reseating the CPU. He doesn't think it's a bad power supply because he can stress test it for a really long time and it won't go down. Update the BIOS on the motherboard and see if that makes a difference. He's also tried to clear the CMOS, which is cool. Change RAM configuration. Also, if there is a XMP profile, I don't know what's called, the new one, DLCP, XMP profile on the RAM, go ahead and remove it, then try to turn it on. If there is an XMP profile on the RAM, go ahead and remove it, then try to turn it on. If it still fails, then try one stick of RAM at a time, to see if it makes a difference. Wow, Anthony, come on now. It ain't that late. So yeah, I would say it sounds like a BIOS issue. So just from what you've been telling me so far, it sounds like the issue is going to be in BIOS, just from what I've read here, and so that's one way to go about it. But also see if it makes a difference. And also there's an XP profile, so also kind of go the RAM route as well, because it could be faulty RAM that's causing it, and you may not run into that issue because you're not stress testing that particular RAM sector. So it really kind of just depends on the situation, but that's what I would go for. I would either go for BIOS or I would go for RAM, and then just kind of go from there. But Caden, keep us posted here. Let us know what happens there. Alrighty, group three, let's get ready. Okay, water. Okay, I'm starting to get a little water log because after every one, I'm drinking more and more water. Okay. All right, so this is from that idiot dude. Oh, I remember him. And we talked about them. Don't call yourself an idiot, bro. Well, if you go to PlayStation Store and look at your past purchases, does it show it there? It says I bought it. It says I bought it. I literally still have the email on my phone showing I bought it, but in my console, it tells me to pay 30 euros again to download it. Okay. Okay. I would just contact the PlayStation support team and have them enable it for you. Having them enable it for you. Did you try? My ears started squealing. Did you try to plug it in? Oh, I'm sorry. Did you try? More than likely, you downloaded the game from the. Did you more than likely you downloaded the game from the PS Plus app for free, with the free game instead of your actual library, and look for your past person to show it there. Try to just contact the PlayStation support team and have them enable it for you. Have them enable. Oh yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Did you try to uninstall the previous version? Use version and reinstall. So yeah, we just kind of need to know. Like, I don't think he told us. You know, it says I bought it literally. Still have the email, but if you have the email, you can just open and take it with PlayStation support team, and they should be able to assist you. So we got to at least let them know that. But also try to uninstall the previous version and then reinstall it to see if it makes a difference, and just kind of go from there. But Mr. Dude, keep us posted here. But that's what I'm thinking here on this particular issue. Okay, so Reddit, Shadow Cross. I so want to say Shadow of the Colossus. Shadow Cross writes, I get no connection to my monitor. Wow, this is a lot of monitor issues today. Hello, I don't get any connection to my monitor. I connected both HDMI and DisplayPort from my GPU to the monitor. I have an MSI Meg X570S Edge Max Wi-Fi, 32 gigs of DDR4 memory, and an XFX Mirco 310RX 7900 XTX, and a 5800X 3D, as well as an EVGA 1000 watt PSU. I updated the motherboard with the latest BIOS firmware latest BIOS firmware before installing anything. What do you all recommend me to do? I get no connection to my monitor. I connected both HDMI and display from my GPU to the monitor, and he still has no connection. So he's tried HDMI and he's tried display, but he has a 5800X 3D, which I do not think. Let me check. I'm pretty sure it doesn't. 5800X 3D integrated graphics. I don't think it does. But I gotta check because I skipped this series. I went from 3000 series straight to the most up-to-date version, the 7950X. What was the question? Oh, okay. The motherboard, the latest BIOS firmware. I get no connection to my monitor, so this isn't gonna tell me what I need to know. Not from AMD, is not. Let's try this one. Most scenarios, blah, 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 blah. Here, we'll just do it this way. 5800 X3D have... Does not. Okay, just making sure. Okay, so it doesn't have integrated graphics, and you try the 7900 XTX. So try this. What happens if you plug in your cable into another monitor or TV? What happens if you plug in your cable into another monitor or TV? Does it show a picture? Does it show a picture? Wow. Does it show a picture? If it does, if it shows a picture, then we can investigate the faulty monitor. We can investigate the faulty monitor, but if it doesn't show a pic, then you may have issues with the cable or the graphics card. Cable or the graphics card. Let us know. And we'll just go from there. Just kind of keep us posted, and we'll go either way because it kind of barrels off in two different directions. So we'll just go with it that way. Alrighty, here. Let's go ahead and go to the next one. No wonder why my temps increased. Okay, yeah, there's a whole animal on the exhaust of your fans. I bet, okay, I've run into situations where people's computer cases were just filthy because of all the cat dander. So basically it gets caught into all the fans and it's really bad. And I'm allergic to cat dander. And I start sneezing and then they start sneezing and then everyone is sneezing and then the cat is just looking at us like we crazy. But yeah, this will definitely affect your temperatures for sure. Furmark. Oh, I was gonna write, but then I got smoked. Yeah, Furmark. Furmark, I'll give it to you. Yep, that's a W. I was going to reply, but you already won. Already won. LOL. Take your W and leave me in peace. Take your W and leave me in peace. Man, that's like getting smoked. I'm sitting here. There's no point even replying when his is just so good. That is hilarious. But you know, nice build, I guess. Addicted Choco Milk. Oh my goodness. Okay, let me get some water. Okay. Wow. Let me see. Recording external audio on a Galaxy S21 via 3.5 millimeter male-to-male cable. I feel like I have that near me. Maybe not. Okay, we'll just go with it. I'm trying to stream audio from a different device to my Samsung Galaxy S21 via a male-to-male 3.5 millimeter adapter. With the adapter, well, with an Apple USB-C to 3.5 millimeter adapter, I want to record this audio to my S21's voice recorder or something similar. Currently, the device I am trying to stream from is my Windows 11 desktop PC. I can't get the audio to record from my PC to my S21. I have tried TRS cable and a TRS to TRRS cable. This one has a microphone built into the cable in one end. With the TRS to TRS cable, I can record audio from my S21 to my desktop by putting one end into my Android via the USB-C to 3.5 millimeter adapter and the other end into my desktop's microphone port. This also works with TRRS and to TRRS cable, regardless of which end is plugged into which device. The mic on the blah cable does not get picked up as an external mic by the S21. I can see that. Regardless, the mic on the regardless of which end is plugged into the Android, the mic doesn't get picked up on the MacBook. So the mic does get picked up on the MacBook, so I know it works. I also have a Razer Black Shark V1 that I tried with my S21 and has a TRRS in. Its microphone is used by the S21 without issue. I also tried a few different audio recording apps, Dolby On, Bandland, blah, 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 with no difference. Part of me guesses that the S21 somehow needs both an earbud and a microphone reading from the attached device in order to use the microphone at all. And if it does not detect an earbud connection, then it won't detect a microphone. But I don't get why this would be an issue since I see plenty of articles online about how you can use your external monitors or external microphone with an Android device. Alternatively, perhaps it's the fact that there are two different TRRS standards, so I'm not sure if I'm using the right one for the right cable. And I said, they said any help is greatly appreciated. And they kept talking. If you're wondering why I'm trying to use a 3.5 millimeter male-to-male and my S21 for this instead of transferring the files via the internet, it's because I want to do this with Apple II that I'm waiting for in the mail. With the Apple II, you can transfer files back and forth using a 3.5 millimeter cable. What? I'm not sure if that passes data, bro. Rather than using a floppy disk. What? Apple II? Okay. He's talking about some old school stuff. It's obvious to me since my S21 can stream to my desktop that I should have no issue streaming Apple II disk images from my S21 to my Apple II. But from the issue I've had, I don't think I will be able to save the Apple II to my S21. Here's my question. Good Lord. It was so much he asked. I have a headache. All right, let's just look this up. Okay, I'm not going crazy. What? I don't, what? Okay, so he has the Apple 21. I'm not sure the Apple 21. I'm not sure the Apple 21 nor any device can transfer data over a 3.5 millimeter jack. Typically 3.5 millimeter jack. What? I'm not sure the Apple II nor any device can transfer data over a 3.5 millimeter jack. Typically, it would be set up to use some form of USB. Yeah, I'm not sure what you're trying to do here. You're trying to plug a 3.5 millimeter into a Apple II? Like I'm not trying to understand or trying to understand exactly what you're trying to do here. If you're trying to move something to a floppy disk, I mean, it's game over anyway because it's a floppy disk. And you lost me when you said floppy disk. Do you mean like CD or do you truly mean floppy disk? Because if you truly mean floppy disk, then I truly don't think this is going to work. I'm not sure the Apple II nor any device can transfer data over a 3.5 millimeter jack. Typically, it would be set up to use some form of USB. Yeah, I would just go with that. That's a fair response and see what they say. So Xanaman, keep us posted. Okay, so this was the Creality CR10 Smart. We talked about this in great detail. So I said it does have the USB port, but it doesn't show that a proper option except for taking thumb drives like the SD card slot. In other words, it appears that it is designed to accept inputs, but not necessarily communicate like thumb drives, for example. So yeah, we were talking about basically this 3D printer that he has, and basically the 3D printer just has a USB slot, so a USB 3 type A slot. It does not have the USB, the other end that goes into printers and other peripheral devices. It doesn't have that. It's just straight USB to USB, which is why I said it probably won't work. And then he said, figured as much, was hoping there was an option to keep the Wi-Fi setup, but also plug it into a computer or Pi. I like the cloud print, but I didn't want to toss that out the window just to integrate with Octopi. I still haven't checked out if it would be necessary of an upgrade from how the system is currently, aside from not really using the SD slot. Yeah. Was hoping there was an option to keep it. Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, sorry about that. This is purely conjecture, but it definitely sounds about right. This is purely conjecture, but it definitely sounds about right. Yeah, there's not a whole lot to say here. I don't think that cord is something that you can plug into another device. It's just a USB type A cord. It doesn't have a printer in, you know? Alrighty, best tension. Keep us posted, but that's what I think is going on with that one. Okay, group 4. Hey, we're making progress. Group 4. Okay, let me get some water here. Alrighty, group 4. Alrighty, back to PS5. Having a technical issue. Alright, so today, out of the blue, I wasn't getting any picture on my PS4. Was getting no video with breaking audio. Connect for a few seconds, disconnects for a few seconds. Now, I don't even get audio. I replaced the HDMI cord, didn't work. I suspect they busted HDMI port on the system. Already switched every port on the TV and want to know if there is maybe another issue. I suspect my roommate's cat might be responsible, but I don't want to confront her until I have a better idea of what caused it. Any ideas for fixes or causes, or does it sound like I need a repair person and I'm on the money for the cause? So apparently it only refuses to connect to a Sony TV. A tiny Bravia works just fine. okay, so it can connect to certain TVs, but not the main one. It sounds like it may be your resolution. What else did it say? Picture on my PS4 was getting no video with breaking audio. No video with breaking audio, but it works fine on other televisions. So that means that your issue is going to be cable or graphics, but we're talking about a PlayStation. So with this one, could you try to replace the HDMI cable to see if it makes a difference? So apparently it refused to connect to a Sony TV. It only refused to connect to a Sony TV. The tiny Bravia works just fine. Okay, so it can connect to other devices. It just can't connect to this one Sony computer. What resolution is the PlayStation set at? This is going to be located, if my PlayStation wakes up, it's a getting there. Oh man, what a day. What a day. Let's do it. Okay, and then we're going to go to our settings here as soon as it powers up. If I can type, there we go. What resolution is the PlayStation set at? For, let's see, system? HDMI? No. System storage? System accessibility? No. Network? No. System. Console information. System software updates. HDMI. Why is this so hard right now? It's like I'm not clicking on the right. Oh, screen and video. Anthony, you silly. So screen and video. So go to your settings, screen and video, and check the resolution and make sure it's a resolution that's compatible with the TV. Maybe compatible with the smaller TV, but not with the big one. So system, screen and video, TV. PlayStation set at system, screen, and video. Okay, what resolution is the PlayStation at, or PlayStation set at? System, screen, and video, and check the resolution there. It may be that it that the bigger Sony is unable to display it. What resolution is the PlayStation set at in system, screen, and video, and check the resolution there. It may be that the bigger Sony is unable to display it because the resolution is not ideal. Because the resolution is not ideal. So yeah, I would just check for it just to make sure, because it sounds more like a resolution type thing where it's not showing a picture because it can't display that resolution for that particular monitor. So it may be something along those lines, or the resolution is too small. And like, for example, it's only 480p instead of 720 or 1080, and therefore the monitor, the television that you're using, can't show it. So it can be a couple different reasons, but those are the ones that I would go with on this particular situation. So hugging, keep us posted. Alrighty, here, let's go ahead and go to the next one. Oh yeah, right here. Alrighty, so this one's another PS5 one, and it said it's overheating. Just hoping to find a little more advice, see if anyone is having the same issue as me. My PS5 first overheated and just turned off when the new Modern Warfare 2 came out. It knew ahead of time. Since then, it has started to do some more frequently, especially I noticed when playing Hogwarts Legacy. I've tried to find answers or fixes, but I feel I might have to send it in, but want to avoid that, of course. I like the sides pretty frequently to clean. I what? I take the sides pretty quickly to clean out dust. I have taken the fan out and used keyboard dust and a vacuum to get dust out from inside as much as possible. I even scrubbed the fan and other hard to reach surfaces like the black vents, which attempts to keep the dust out. Blah 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 blah. I run a little fan pointed at the cords and at the bottom, blah, 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 blah. Oh, I also use my PS5 standing up and now have it horizontal, as I've read that the vertical position can cause overheating. Okay, well, you're having a PS5 overheating issue, and the only thing that you can do are the things that you've already done. So if it is having an overheating issue, if anyone is having the same issue, my PS5 first overheated and just turned off. How do you know if overheating was the issue? Question. How do you know if overheating was the issue? You know, if overheating was the issue. Were you able to blow out the dust within the console? So yeah, let's go with that and just get some more information. You know, because I mean, how would you know that it's overheating? You know, is it that it's hot to the touch? Is it that it's just powering off and you think that it's automatically overheating because it's powering off? Because if that's the case, then it could be something else. So we just need some more information before we can proceed. So Jeff Fisher, keep us posted, bro. Give us more information. Okay, so this is a rainbow decal on a DAN case. The end case, let's call it that. This is the H2O, more than likely, or the air. Can't really tell, but yeah, this is pretty normal. Though I do like the paint job. It looks very starry. It looks like you just went outside and just drew something on your canvas. What is this? Oh, I was like, what is it showing me? What is? Okay, so 5800 X3D, and then some pictures. Is that a decal? Nice decal. People are wrapping their computers instead of their cars. Nice decal. People are now wrapping their computers instead of their PCs. Nice decal. People are now wrapping their computers instead of their PCs. Are now wrapping their computers instead of their cars. Because that doesn't make any sense. Lol. Alrighty, go ahead and comment on that one. I mean, it's nice. It's shiny. It's very, very shiny. And it's a DAN case. So, I mean, you know, it's a pretty good build quality. Alrighty, Mini Minute. We talked about this. And we talked about his name like for 20 minutes. Mini Minute. My screen takes flashes, just an edge. Is my GPU failing or is it an edge issue? Well, we had a bunch of questions for this person. Why are you using edge? that is a good question. What happens when you right click and open the edge in a private menu? They said when they open it in private, everything was fine. It's just they're not having problems, or they're still having problems, even though they've done that. So I said, well, he said, I've just noticed that this happens only when I open a new Windows 2 sometimes. It looks like the same flickering I captured on my YouTube video. Is that flickering normal or is that a problem? I forgot to publish my YouTube video, but it should be fine now. Well, it's hard to say. Are you referring to the hard cut in the middle there? Because to us, it just looks like you swapped out to a different scene / monitor. And I can show you what he was trying to show. So if we go, not the part picker. He actually told us, yeah, right here. Okay, you see that hard cut right there in the middle? You gotta kind of look for it, otherwise you will completely miss it. Okay, that black screen, that's what he's referring to, that hard cut. But it doesn't help him that he went to a second monitor because it looked like it's just a very, very awkward cut. But sure, I'll go with that. Let's see. I'm using Edge. Try using Firefox. Okay, well, it's hard to say you're referring to that hard cut in the middle. Yes, that's what I'm referring to. I did swap to another tab so is that actually just normal? It happens sometimes in Firefox and in private mode, but much less frequently. I will disable those extensions and see if it's normal. Yeah, it's not normal. It's not normal, but it just looked like a hard cut. So I had to ask. Okay, so with the issue though, it happens sometimes in Firefox and in private mode, but much less frequently. Okay. Yes, it's not normal, but just looked like a hard cut. So I had to ask. As for the issue, another tab. So that actually just normal. As for the issue, I would say to swap out the GP or the swap out the graphics. Yeah, it's normal, but it just looks like, oh, swap out the HDMI cable, HDMI/display cable. As for the issue, I would say swap out the HDMI/display cable to see if that makes a difference. Yeah, but if we're talking about just that switch between one scene and the other and then goes black before it, it looks like a dip to black, but it's actually just a black screen. So if that's the case, then you want to look at either your graphics card or your cables. And we're going to start with the cables before we go to the graphics card. As for the issue, I would say to swap out the HDMI display cable and see if that makes a difference. Okay, so we'll go with that for mini minute. Alrighty, so we do have quite a bit, but we may stop a little bit earlier today because I have to go to work. so we were gonna probably stop a little bit earlier than normal, or probably stop around 8:30-ish. So we'll just go until we can't because we only got 2 more groups anyway. But let's go ahead and get it popping. Alrighty, so this next one here is from Far Fennel. Far Fennel writes, anyone else having this issue? Recently, my controller has been having this issue where my left analog stick affects the right analog stick, where it moves the camera up and down depending on which way I move it. I've tried to search a solution to this, but it seems like nobody else is having this issue, or at least hasn't talked about it yet. Is there a way around this? What kind of PlayStation did you have? Or did he say recently my controller has been having issues? Did he say PlayStation or PC or anything? What device are you using this on? What device are you using this on? What kind of controller is it? What kind of controller is it? Recently, my controller has been having issues that left my analog stick affects the right. What devices are you using? What kind of controller is it? It sounds more like drift, but if you plug it in, sounds more like drift. What device are you using this on? What kind of controller is it? It sounds more like my controller has been having issues where my yeah, sounds more like drift. But if you plug it in to whatever device you are testing this on, does the issue go away? What device are you using this on? What kind of controller is it? It sounds more like drift, like stick drift. But if you plug it into whatever device you are testing this on, does the issue go away? So more like stick drift. Okay. But if you plug it into whatever device you are testing this on, so if you plug it in, sounds more like stick drift, but you plug it into the device you're testing it on. In other words, plug it directly into the console to see if it makes a difference. Okay, Far Fennel, that's what I would say for that one there. So let's go ahead and just do a few more in group 3 and we'll pick back up tomorrow. Alrighty, this is Dramatic Pitch. Dramatic Pitch writes, Ethernet connection problem. So we've been going back and forth with this. They're having an internet issue and they just had some questions. It appears that other people may be talking to maybe. Okay, so for this one, it sounds like the Ethernet adapter on your motherboard is going out. A good way to test this, since these happens every couple minutes, you can go to Start Control Panel, Network and Sharing, change adapter settings, and look at the local area connection. Does it go to not connect it when you lose connectivity, and show an X? Yeah, it shows a little red cross on the icon of the Ethernet network. Well, you're possibly down to a wireless network adapter or a new PC, because if that Ethernet port is dead, then the whole motherboard would need replacing. What the hell are you talking? No. That's what I say. You could try updating the Ethernet driver once you've connected via a wireless adapter in Device Manager. If that doesn't work, then you're looking to get another computer because the whole motherboard will need replacing unless the wireless network adapter is what? Man, this man went this man went Super Saiyan. Whoa, 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 son. We were just talking about a PC, bro. Just use a USB to Ethernet. Yeah, it shows a red cross. Okay. Okay, then that means the device is truly losing connectivity. So I would just get a USB to Ethernet dongle. They are only a few dollars, and see if that fixes the issue. Okay, so yeah, so I would just get a USB to Ethernet dongle. They are only a few dollars, and see if that fixes the issue. But should be pretty. Once you try the Ethernet, USB to Ethernet dongle, USB to Ethernet dongle, let us know if you still have problems. Wow, still have problems. There we go. So yeah, no. You don't want to replace the entire motherboard just because the Ethernet adapter is broken. That happens all the time. Like I have a computer right now that doesn't have a good working Ethernet adapter, and I just plugged in a USB to Ethernet adapter and call it a day. So yeah, you just do USB to Ethernet and it'll fix your issue right then and there. You don't have to replace the motherboard just because of it. That's a little bit heavy-handed. So no, I would not say that. That's how I would handle this situation. So yeah. Dramatic pitch, man. Just follow that. Please don't replace your entire motherboard because your Ethernet adapter is dead. That's kind of cray. Okay, this is one here. Make sure I got it all my repeats though. Oh no, that's just questions. Okay, so this is from Dark13. Dark13 writes, some AAA games crashed my Xbox Series X. No, not the Xbox Series X. That thing is awesome. So I have an Xbox Series X after about a year, the launch, and it was working properly. But in the last few weeks, I got so many problems with crashing and freezing. Last game was Guardians of the Galaxy, Need for Speed Underground, FIFA 2023, Wolong, Fallen Dynasty. It kept to the dashboard after 3 to 5 minutes after launching the game. Games like Overwatch, Halo, Forza work perfectly most of the time. I tried clearing DNS cache, Mac reset the Xbox, reinstall the games, check for last updates, cleared and saved, unplug the device. Clear the dust with the air duster. I've tried to contact support, but it keeps leading me to the virtual agents, which is some bots that answer the same question for every answer. Okay, well that sucks. Okay, so some AAA games crashed on my Xbox Series X. Okay, so with this one, he said he already tried to uninstall and reinstall the games, right? I tried to reinstall the games, yeah. So he tried to reinstall the games and it works perfectly. Within the last week, I got many problems with crashing and freezing. Okay. If it's crashing and freezing on the Xbox, depending on which game you play, but not for every game you play, and you've already tried to uninstall and reinstall, then there's two ways to go about this. Okay, so the first one is to install an external drive. It doesn't have to be the best drive in the world. Just doesn't have to be the best drive in the world. It just needs to be big enough to store one game. Then test this. Okay, so with this one, the first one is to install an external drive. It doesn't have to be the best drive in the world, just needs to be big enough to store one game. Then test this by moving the said game from one. Okay, so this one, first one is the install the external drive. It doesn't have to be the best drive in the world, just needs to be big enough to store one game. Then test this by moving said game from one location to the other external. Then test this by moving said game from one location to the other, which is to the other external drive. drive. Then try to boot from that. Then try to boot the game from the external hard drive. Does it work and log you in? Does it work and log you in? Or sorry, not log you in. Does it work? Sorry, got my professional part of it in residential type stuff. Does it work and start the game? Okay, we'll go with that. Okay, so for this one here, it's to install an external drive. It doesn't have to be, okay, why you gotta get right in my way? It doesn't have to be the best drive in the world, just needs to be big enough to store one game. Then test this by moving said game from one location to the other, an external drive. Then try to boot the game from the external hard drive. Does it work and start the game? So this is an Xbox. Oh, sorry, pressed the wrong Xbox controller. Okay. So all we're talking about on this one here is just going to be your settings. And then from settings, we're just going to look at your storage devices. And then from here, you can actually move. So move or copy, and you can choose the games that you want to move and move it from the internal drive to the external drive, and then try to boot the game off of the external drive to see if it makes a difference. If it fixes the issue, then there's a pretty good chance you have an issue with your hard drive and your hard drive corrupting. If it doesn't fix the issue, then you may have a firmware issue, or it could be a hardware issue. I would try to update the firmware by wiping the device and then try to contact support if that doesn't work. Okay, but we'll just start with this here. Then try to boot the game from the external hard drive. Does it work and start the game? Alrighty, keep us posted, Dark. Let us know. My new rig worked hard on airflow. Yo, this is the best airflow ever. Hey, this isn't the first rig I've seen like this, to be fair. A lot of people use cardboard because it's not a good conductor of electricity. On top of that, you can just kind of hang the graphics card above the actual motherboard, just like on a rope kind of situation. And that works actually really, really well. It's akin to the, I'm not sure of the amount of current that can travel between a piece of cardboard and a anti-static bag, but yeah, I've seen people use cardboard all the time, especially when they don't have anti-static bags. I'm surprised there's not a cat on it. Right, my new rig worked hard on the airflow. Well, looks great. It's not gonna be funny. Somebody already got something funny. I know it. It's like a test bench, only dumber. Okay, that's good. Well, it's not functional in its current state, so yes. If you save money, does it really matter? Let me raise you my new rig. It really, okay, so first off, let's a few things here. Okay, first off, this is quite normal. This is quite normal. Miners would run their devices exactly like this with the GPUs on. I gotta find a picture of that. I gotta show you how my miners were set up. They were set up just like that, with the GPUs on rope, or GPUs left dangling on a pole they were connected to with rope. First off, this is quite normal. Miners would run their devices exactly like this with the GPUs left dangling. Wow, Anthony. Wow, that's awful. Dangling on a pole they were connected to with rope. Very, very, very cost effective. Well, very, very, very cost effective. From a fellow penny pincher, you have my respect. I'm a penny pincher with everything but food and tech. If it's for a good cause, like if it's for helping people, or if it's tech designed for me to do something with an ability, like for example troubleshooting, that's when I don't worry about price. So like if it's like I need something for the channel, or I need to set up another monitor, or if I need to get a PS5 or an Xbox in order to troubleshoot PS5s and Xboxes, that it doesn't matter. That's just the cost of doing business. But if we're talking about like just my livelihood and my lifestyle, oh, it's super cheap. I don't spend money on anything. I felt bad. I went to a casino and spent what was it? I spent like $500 and I was sick to my stomach. Like I went the first time I went, right? I knew I was gonna spend $500 because my birthday was coming up, right? So I was trying to go to the casino. And so the first time I went, I spent $500, right? Going to the casino. And I gained back like 300 or 400. So net, I only spent like maybe $200 if you count gas. So overall, I didn't really spend a whole lot of money. So I was kind of feeling myself, right? So I was like, okay, I'll just go back next week. Went back next week, lost 500. And I was so mad at myself because I'm going to buy another property at the end of the year. I was so mad at myself that I spent so much money. I was like, I'll never do this again. Like, I don't care how much money you send me to go back down here. I was hurt. I was hurt that I got hustled like that. And I got hustled bad. I don't play like hard gambling type stuff. I play like slots. I play like penny slots. So I don't play like cray, but I go penny slots, but I bet high, right? So I may do like a $5 bet or something like, well, that's my definition of high. That's probably not anyone else's definition of high, but I don't like spending a ton of money on things that aren't related to helping someone or trying to get me to a certain place in life. Does that make sense? It's not exactly who I am. It's not, I mean, I bought a Right Shoe shirt. That's pretty much how I roll. But all this stuff here, that came from mining. That didn't come from anything else. Like that's money I earned and then turned around and spent it back on my next business because mining died, right? So I basically took all the money and income that I made from mining and then turned it into this. So that's all that is. So the place that I bought was because of mining. So everything that I did, it was to get to a certain stage where I can always come back and make more videos. So everything had a purpose. But when it comes to just regular day in, day out stuff, I don't really do all that. I like tech. I like talking about tech. I like making videos and reviews about tech, and I like fixing everybody's issues because I like supporting people. It's like my thing. So that's kind of where I draw the line. So when it comes to spending money, I don't really spend a lot. So I definitely know how he feels. And running it on cardboard is pretty sweet, by the way, because when you run it on cardboard, you never have issues with the device overheating. So, hey, I got to respect it. Even the monitor in the background, that's an older monitor. So you got to give the man his props. So congrats to you there, sir. All righty, here. Let's go ahead and move along. Okay. So next one here. This is from Oreos. Oh, yeah, we already talked to Oreos. Yeah. So Oreos was talking about scan lines on the G27F2. I thought we just saw this. Let me refresh. He may have replied to me twice. Oh, definitely mean driver. Yeah. I plugged it into an Xbox One base edition last gen. The lines are mostly gone, but they are still on the top and to the right. Ooh. I also opened the settings menu and the monitor, and they are there. Ooh. It's dying. Well, okay. Not necessarily dying. Okay. Also the HDMI display cable on your two monitors. Could you swap them out? Yeah, this is what you would do. So I'm right on this here. I didn't see this part. And this part is useful information. However, it doesn't change the troubleshooting methodology. As of right now, what you would do now is swap out the two HDMI cables, basically by swapping them between each other because he has two monitors. That will basically prove the next step. The next step after telling us this information is trying to swap out the HDMI cable to see if it resolves the issue. If it does not, and you still have the issue regardless of which HDMI cable you have plugged into it, then you have an issue with your television or your monitor, and I am sorry. Because that it's going to be, it's kind of like on its last legs if that's the case. So yeah, this right here doesn't change. Okay, and we'll do the last one here and we'll pick up group 6 tomorrow. Will PS4 controllers work for cloud gaming on Mac? I don't know. I can find out though. Big Sir. Cloud gaming? Oh, I know what he's talking about. Okay, so the NVIDIA GeForce Now works on Macs. I actually got cussed out for that. So, okay, not really cussed out. So it was It was a forum. It was like a video that we've done, and it was like maybe like a month ago or maybe 2 months ago, and it was a Windows chat post, and he was trying to figure out which computer he should go with, and because he wanted to play video games, and he had like two or three different laptop options, and a lot of times when people are trying to figure out what computer they want to go with, they want to go with it because of gaming. What I was trying to let him know was, I was like, hey, the MacBook Pro at the time, the MacBook Pro M1 was one of the best computers that were out at the time, or M2 Pro was one of them. So I was letting him know, I was like, hey, you might want to go for a MacBook M2 Pro or M1 Pro, and then for the gaming side of it, you can just use GeForce Now, and GeForce Now for your cloud gaming, or you can use what was the name of that game? It's a application that allows you to stream games from another computer, but neither here nor there. I was really talking about GeForce Now, because I knew GeForce Now has support for Macs, and I was like, hey, you can just go ahead and use an online cloud gaming and then use that instead, and you can have all the features of having a Mac while still being able to game, is what I was trying to let him know. And it was like, how dare you talk about Macs? I'm trying to figure out a computer I can game on. What is wrong with you? And I was like, and then he blocked me before I can actually reply and let him know what I was talking about. I'm talking about the right thing. I'm trying to tell you a story. I'm trying to let you know that Macs can now game, but no, you want to get offended. So that's what ended up happening with that. But that's what I was trying to give him. I was trying to help him understand that you don't necessarily have to go with the MacBook Pro. You don't necessarily have to go with a particular laptop these days if you want to game. You can go with a MacBook Air for college and have like that device, because that's the kind of device that you want. And if you want to do light gaming, just get a cloud gaming subscription for GeForce Now for $20 a month. Does that make sense? So you can pay for, a $600-700 laptop for like a MacBook Air, and then have GeForce Now for your gaming and game on your laptop and be done. And you don't have to worry about gaming, and the laptop doesn't have to take the brunt of the load. Instead of you having to pay for a gaming laptop, I'm trying to save this man money. He think I'm trying to talk about his mama or something. So that's what happened. I was like, okay, well, if you want to block me, that's you, bro. I was just trying to help you out and give a different opinion, because there was like 20 people that were saying what kind of laptop you should get. I was the only one that's saying a Mac, because I was just trying to give you a difference of opinion, because you can get a cheaper Mac nowadays. Like, for example, the Mac Mini is like $600. So that's a $600 to get into Mac. That's a very, very low barrier that Macs never had before. On top of that, you can still game on it. So, you may be, and on top of that, you may actually get discounts from Apple because you're in school. So that's why I was trying to give them those perspectives. But I guess it kind of gets lost in translation when you're just writing text. But yes, Mac gaming, cloud gaming is really a thing, and you really can do that on Macs. So to answer his question, I don't know. And I don't have a PS4 controller, but I do have a PS5 controller. So we can go ahead and try it. I can disconnect my PS5 to try to connect the Mac to my Mac Mini. So let's see here what we can do. Let's see if we have the ability here. So let's minimize all this stuff, and then let's move this right there, and we are going to go to Bluetooth. Okay, so these are all my devices, yada yada yada. Okay, so to pair, if I remember correctly, I think I guess we're gonna find out. Okay, that's not that's not it. I believe you can. I just gotta remember the button placement. Hold on. It'll come to me. I hate doing it on this controller, because this is a controller that I'm using on the PS5, but I can use another controller. It's not that big a deal. Oh my goodness. Okay, let me look it up. Hold on. Let's look it up real quick. How to pair PS5 controller to PC. Okay, which buttons were there? I always got to look at this every single time. I try to remember it, but it's too annoying. It's not the same. It's not like the Xbox where you can just press one button. For instance, it's ready to support blah 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 blah. In short, main blah blah blah. DualSense plugin. Yeah, but yeah, we know that part. That's not what I'm talking about. Select Bluetooth, add a Bluetooth. That's what I press. Set your duals in pairing mode. Yeah, that's what I press, bro. Now you need to make sure the DualSense pad is findable. Okay. Actually, I think I just turned it off. So here, let's try again. Ah, there it is. So it's going to look like that. It didn't do it the first time, but it did on the second try. So whatever. It knew I was trying to look it up. Therefore, it wanted to work. So we'll take that as an option. So if we go down to nearby devices, discoverable any day now. Okay. There it is. DualSense wireless controller. And then hit connect. So yes, this works. So whenever it happens, you will see it solid blue, and we can actually see it here. So yes, it does work. So yes, you can pair your controller to the Mac Mini. I would imagine that the PS4, if it's a Bluetooth controller, would be the exact same way. Mac Mini doesn't have problems with controllers that I've run into over the years. So yeah, that's what you would do. So let's go ahead and disconnect this so I can connect it back to my PS5. Now we don't have a PS5 controller, but I'm okay with that. I have another one in a different room, but I'll grab it tomorrow. Okay, so yes, we just tested this. It works. So let's go ahead and answer our homie here. Right here. Oh, Big Sur. Which one is Big Sur? Is that 13? I feel like it's 13. Big Sur. Big Sur version Mac. Oh, it's 11? Why is he on 11? Jesus Christ. Why are you on Big Sur? Why are you on Big Sur? Are you not able to upgrade? Or, but on, I think we're on Monterey about this Mac. Okay, I was making sure it didn't show anything cray-cray. So we are on Ventura, which is right there. Making sure it doesn't show your life savings and the last 4 digits of your social. Hey, Macs like to share information, so you got to be very, very careful with Macs. So I don't usually stay on the Mac screen for too long because it may start popping up. Hey, you know your phone number is blocked. I'll be like, shut up, Mac. Jesus Christ. Can't you see we're trying to run a show here? Why are you on Big Sur? Are you not able to upgrade? So it was, what is it called? Mac OS 13.1. Yeah. Why did it do that? Hold on. Let me go back about this Mac. I feel like it said, oh, Ventura. Are you not able to upgrade? We just tested this on stream. We T-shoot issues live to help people. We just tested this on stream using Ventura Mac Mini and a PS5 controller, and it worked just fine. I don't see a reason why the PS4 controller would fail with Big Sur. Yeah, I think it should be fine. I've never run into a situation with Macs where controllers didn't work. That usually is not Mac's forte. Macs may have issues with monitors, but not necessarily controllers. Controllers usually it has no problems with. Now, you know, cloud gaming just became kind of hot on the Macs, but yeah, this is kind of the way you would go about that. There's not a whole lot to say on it. I'm not gonna downgrade in order to test that. PS4 controller and Big Sur, those are both very, very old versions. And the PS4 controller not so much, but the Big Sur is. So I would say if you are having issues with Bluetooth connectivity on Big Sur, I would go ahead and upgrade just to make sure that you can upgrade past a particular Bluetooth issue, and then or just try on Ventura and see what's going on, because that's the most up-to-date version. But useful Newt, let us know how that goes. What time is it? 8:46. You know what? Let's just finish. I don't think 6 is that bad, so we'll just go ahead and just burn through this real quick. It'll still be early, though. All right, so how to fix this. Pops up when getting an invitation to join a group in the game. Bro sends it from his PS5. Oh, this was from that other issue. I'm glad we went here because I want to make sure I didn't miss anybody. So I said, are you two using the same account to party each other? Because if it's an online game, it can trigger an error as you are not using different accounts. No, different ones. Okay, well, the target game intent type is not allowed. Please make sure that you have placed the param.json properly and make sure it's content. Okay, where Okay, well, the code is erroring. Well, you know what? Let's just do it a different way. NP-44125-6. NP-44125-6. Sorry, there's a gigantic mic in my way, so it's very hard to type. Alrighty. Can you blah 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 and your friend both boot your consoles in safe mode and then choose option 5, rebuild database? It's okay, we fixed it both. We both had to move the game from our external hard drives to the internal. Ooh, that's interesting. That may actually be interesting information. Okay, so could you try to move your games, both of you, from the external hard drive to the internal drive to see if it makes a difference? Okay, we'll give him the exact same answer. To basically move his games from the external hard drive to the internal and see if it makes a difference. So Hazel, keep us posted here. Kind of an interesting issue though, especially seeing the fact you're using different accounts. So let us know. Rose Pink Snow White ROG Strix build in a Thermaltake View 51. Stunning. Okay, yeah, that's clean. I'm sorry, that's clean. Plus the pink, that's clean. That's clean. That is very, very clean. I can do pink. I should do pink. Well, it has a little pink in it, but that's clean. I like that. I like that a lot. That's really nice. Okay. The pink mouse, okay. But it is nice. It is very, very nice. It's kind of hard to make that manly, but but I'm so old I can get away with it. It's like you get to a certain point, like I don't care what color it is at this point. Nobody's gonna mistake me and be like, oh yeah, no. I mean, if I wear something pink, nobody's gonna think twice about it. So yeah, I'm too old for people to be looking at me that way. So it's whatever. It looks nice. It looks awesome. It looks awesome. Let me set my fan LEDs to match your chassis. LOL. So yeah, that's actually pretty sweet. I like that. That looks really, really nice. That's a very, very clean build. Congratulations, good sir. Okay, choose the lesser evil, a $99 game or a $99 RGB kit for desk. For desk? Desktop? Okay, to be fair, I already have a $99 kit for RGBs. I was actually gonna put lights up so it can light up. And yeah, well, okay, obviously the price tag is on it. It was only $65, but you get the idea. And then the game, I just paid $99 for Diablo 3, but that was just so we could troubleshoot it. So if the lesser evil, probably the game, because the game, you know, there's nothing really bad about a game unless you take it the wrong way, but most people don't. And the RGB is that's just overkill. And I got bit. Like, okay, I've never had a pretty case my entire life. You got to understand. You got to believe me when I tell you I've never had a pretty case my entire life. I've always had small cases. I had big cases. And then I had small cases. I went from the Define R5s and 6s. I had the Half X, and I had like this cheap case that I paid like $60 for back when I was like 20. So my first case was that one. Then I went to the Half X. Then I went to the Define R5, and then I went to the Define R6. And then after that, I was done with ATX, and then I went to ITX, and that was the Century. I went with the Century, and then after the Century, I went with the Century. I went Century Sliger, and then I went Century Sliger Meshalicious, and also I wanted to go with this guy's bigger brother, which was called the S4 Mini, but because the S4 Mini was actually a little bit bigger than this, but it fit a graphics card. But now, oh my God, what happened to it? But now that I look back on it, I'm okay with this guy because nowadays you can probably get by with just this and a graphics card, like a small graphics card, just for different inputs and stuff like that. Or you can just do straight the motherboard. Like if you get the 7950X 3D, you could just use that, and that can give you 1080p gaming nowadays. So I'm actually okay with it being this small because it makes it super, super portable. So I've gone mini ITX and I never came back to ATX. So now that I have an ATX one that's actually pretty, I don't know if I can actually get away from it because of all the things that it does. Like I don't have to have as many cam link cards for all the inputs. I don't have to worry about, like, every time that I try to do a stream, I would have to wait an hour. Like I would do it like an hour and a half before the stream starts, just checking gear. Like it took forever because sometimes it'll work, sometimes it won't. Sometimes camera A would work and camera B would not. Sometimes camera B would work and camera C would not. Sometimes camera B and C would work, but camera A would not. Sometimes the PS5 would work, but the Xbox would work, but camera A would work, but not camera C. Like it's really bad. And when you have as much gear, we have different cameras, we have labs, we have PS5s and Xboxes and all this, it becomes a very, very big pain. So yeah, I like the new build that I currently have. I've never had anything like it, so I'm kind of swooning over it. So we'll see. We'll see. But I still think that the $99 RGB kit is a little sus, a little bit too much. You're going kind of over and beyond. And I am a firm believer that I'm kind of going over and beyond. But you got to believe me, this is my first time ever doing something like this. I promise it won't happen again. But we'll see how it goes. Alrighty, so random gamer, Bose QC25 Mic Series X. Does anyone else here have a Series X and Elite Series 2 controller? Of course, we have those things. And the wired QC25 and can't get the inline microphone to work. Is there a fix for this issue? Oh, I don't know. I've never tried that. So what he's saying is he has the wired QC25, which is the Bose headphones, and basically he's plugging directly into there we go, the 3.5 millimeter port. Is he talking about Xbox? Oh no, yeah, he's talking about Xbox. I'm sorry. Xbox. It's the same thing though. Yeah, so he's just plugging into that 3.5 millimeter jack there at the bottom. And as a side note, the same headset and mic work fine on my PS5. Elite Series 2. Okay. Okay, well, do you have the same issue if the Xbox controller was plugged directly into the Xbox? Is the Xbox controller plugged directly into the Xbox, or does the issue go away? So yeah, I will plug the controller directly into the Xbox and see if it gives you the same problems. But you know, if S series here have Series X and Elite Series 2 controller and can't get the inline microphone to work, yeah. QC25. I'm guessing he's plugging wired into the inline microphone. Yeah. So yeah. As a side note, this same headset and mic work fine on my PS5. Yeah, we'll go with that. Just plug it directly in and just take it from there. So keep us posted, random gamer. Alrighty here. AMD Radeon 6800 XT keychain fob. Yeah, that's the quickest way to tell somebody you're single. You want to see my graphics card? Your what? My graphics card. It's a 6800 XT. I'm going to put it in my computer next week. You know, I'm just waiting on the CPU. So, I mean, it's a pretty dope keychain, but that thing is super heavy. It'll pull your keys right out of your pants. Now that's a good one. That's a good one. Oh, man. Why does everybody win the internet on this darn thing hanging on for dear life? The longer I look at it, the more my anxiety flares up until I saw that it was dead. Oh, okay. I don't get that one, but sure. That is, I get you. It's definitely a graphics card on your pants. So, hey, congratulations. I don't know what you want me to say with that, but apparently you don't need help, so we'll leave it alone. Alrighty, so we'll finish up here. That was a relatively light day. It wasn't too bad here. So we will pick back up tomorrow. As always, same great time, same great channel. And if anybody else, Toyota Mike, thank you for following. We will be back on tomorrow to help more people. If you have any questions or if you need any assistance, I'll be back on tomorrow around the 7 p.m. time-ish. So if you have any problems, it doesn't matter what technical problems it is. We troubleshoot anything around here. We will eventually even have Linux. So yeah, it's a lot. We do a lot. So if you have any questions, always join up and say hi and let us know. So without further ado, if you like this video, go ahead and like button if you really like it. If I'm going to subscribe. I love you either way. Take care. All the best and bye. I will see you tomorrow.